Hello, in today's video I'm gonna talk about Mongolian food. Mongolian traditional food and drinks are deeply tied to the extreme climate conditions, nomadic culture and animal husbandry in back over 1,000 years. Influenced by modern urban lifestyle, the culture associated with traditional foods and drinks has changed. For instance, Mongolians mostly consume beef, mutton, and rice flour daily. During the winter time, horse meat is consumed in addition to beef and mutton. On the other hand, during the summertime, typical food is consistent are dried meat known as borst and dairy product. Vegetables and fruits are popular items in autumn, and also milk tea is traditional Mongolian drink. In particular, dairy products can be served as foods, drinks, and even in the snacks. Now I'm gonna introduce Mongolian traditional foods one by one. The first one will be bod. It's the traditional Mongolian dumplings filled with ground meat. It's probably our favorite traditional food. It is normally considered the national dish of Mongolia. The cuisine is traditionally eaten at home on Tahazar, which is the traditional Mongolian Lunar New Year. Next one will be hoshor. It's the deep-fried mutton parcels. It includes meat, beans, onions, salt, and other spices. It's very oily and filling, perfect to abolish hunger on a long trip. While eaten daily, hoshor is also the main dishes for the Naadam festival. Next one will be tsevan. It's the Mongolian noodle dish that includes meat and fried noodles and also a little bit vegetables. Local people usually prefer to eat the leftover with the milk tea. It's very delicious and of course many tourists want to try it in the first step. The next food will be about noodle and mutton soup. Mongolian people call this food gorltashul, and this is a meat-based soup that gets its flavor from the meat and a few vegetables. The soup is topped with fried noodles, which has a great texture to the soup. This dish is usually quite tasty as the noodles are normally fresh and handmade. Next one will be milk dumpling soup. It's one of the easiest and fastest soup in Mongolia. Basically, it has only two ingredients, including dumpling and milk tea. Next food is called harhog, and it's traditionally eaten during trips and outdoor gathering. Harhog is a barbecue dish in Mongolian cuisine. It's made by cooking pieces of meat inside a container, which contains hot stones and water, and which is often also heated from the outside. Next food is called bodok. Next to the harhog, the cuisine of Mongolia knows a second recipe that uses stones for cooking. It's marmot or goat cooked with hot stones in the stomach. But the similar cooking method, except that meat isn't cut into large pieces. The stones are instead filled into the stomach of the animal and which gets cooked within its own skin. Next food is called bantan. It's a Mongolian dish with a low fat content. It's a soup with flour lamps and also small children as their first solid food. Next one is a borst. It's a Mongolian specialty consisting of air-dried meat from cows, goats, and camels. Usually old people use borst in the food because they get used to it. Next, I'm gonna talk about dairy products. Dairy products are sacred in Mongolia because over the years, Mongolian nomads have developed a great number of unique dairy products to last long. We use dairy products as food in arol, ezgi, beslak, and also Mongolian cream called zohi, and etc. And we use dairy product as drinks in milk and milk tea, erek, and also milk vodka. I'm gonna talk about milk tea. It's the Mongolian traditional tea, which basically consists of milk and also water. The way of preparing the drink can also be very varied, and the traditional way of cooking it includes stirring it by scooping it up while it is boiling and pouring it back from the heat. Next one will be fermented mare's milk. Mongolian people calls it erek. Erek is a fermented dairy product traditionally made from the mare's milk. Erek is considered as the traditional light alcoholic drink or beer. It contains 2% of ABV and it's salty and sour and tastes like a pungent. Next one is about distilled milk vodka. We call it shimming erek. It's a traditional Mongolian vodka, which is made from milk, usually about 20% of ABV. As it comes from dairy, the taste of aroma are almost blank and compared to wheat vodka. Next one is curd. Mongolian people call it ars. Curd is obtained by pouring boiled yogurt or tsaga into a clothed steak and leaving it until the whey has dripped away. It has a sour taste and helps to prevent cold during the winter time if you drink the hot curds. Only 5% of Mongolian peoples are vegetarian. There are only a few places to eat vegetarian food in Mongolia. Make sure that you have enough research before you come in here, because for the vegetarian tourist people, it's really hard to find where to eat and where to go find vegetarian food. There are huge food price differences. It depends on where you eat and where you get from. If you eat local food in the smaller restaurants, you can expect a larger portion and a cheaper price. If you eat larger restaurants, it can be expensive than the smaller one and you can expect a very small portion. For instance, if you eat boats in a smaller area, the one dumplings will be cost 500 turuk. If you eat boats in a larger one, it can be 1000 turuk. There is the huge differences.